What concert or show are you legitimately sad you'll never get to experience because the group or person is either broken up or dead? Linkin Park. I would have loved to have been present at Daft Punk's 2007 Alive concert in Bercy. And I'm sad that Savage Garden had a bad breakup. I'm very lucky to have seen Rush 3 times before Neil Peart passed. My family even has a pair of his sticks that he had just used in concert. We love Rush very much. Bowie, Juice WRLD, definitely Linkin Park. Beatles. Jimi Hendrix, Linkin Park. For me it would have to be Prince or James Brown, both at their prime. Always. Panther Reap, Dime and Vinnie. I would have loved to see Dire Straits play live. I'm too young to have been able to see them live. Occasionally I put on the night and imagine how it would have been to have witnessed that other two are Genesis and Elton John. I still regret not going to their goodbye shows when they were in my country. Daft Punk. Man, I'd kill to see Queen with Freddie Mercury live. The Beatles at Shea Stadium. A once-in-a-lifetime event that changed music history forever. Beatles. Aka Bika. Soundgarden. Chico Science Yanako Zumbi. Modern baseball. Now that has announced they'll be televising the impeachment hearings, what will the drinking game rules be? If you don't want to every time someone admits they were wrong. One shot for every no one is above the law. If you still have a witch's hat laying around from Halloween, you can have a person wear it. It'll rotate around the room on time or whenever a new person is introduced during proceedings. Whenever the term witch hunt is used, you all scream "Burn the witch," and the person in the hat takes a shot of Fireball. When it goes to the Senate, I'm going to tape a cherry tomato to my television and see how many times McConnell's mouth goes near it. Drink every time someone doesn't answer the question. A shot of peach schnapps, which is beyond gross imho every time you hear the word impeach. A shot of Jagger every time you hear the word tremendous. International drinking rules time. A county is name-checked in the impeachment hearing. You must drink a shot of the most famous national drink, Russia vodka. Ukraine Horlicka. China bourbon. Rule 1, drink heavily to dull the 2. There is no rule 2. Take a drink every time Russia is mentioned. There's gonna be a lot of people needing liver transplants after this week. Drink every time is threatened with defunding. What are you scared of? My parents dying. I know it's going to happen sooner or later, but I don't know if I will ever be able to process it. Women. My girlfriend. Public speaking. Humiliation. Shops running out of purple hair. Heights. Dying. Or home invasion. Or dying in a home invasion. What happens after death? Falling back into my depression. Dying slowly in serious pain from my chronic illness. I hope whenever I do go that it'll be quick and as painless as possible. Snails, like I'll go on the highest fare rides, watch the worst horror movies, maybe go on Twitter if I can muster up the courage, but never touch a snail. Gross. Puppets and animatronics. To hell with those things. Running out of toilet paper. Losing people around me. Wait. We can leave. Uncertainty. Big things. Not going to plan. Losing friends, I guess. That I will never know what it feels like to feel safe and happy. Testicular torsion. I'm ill right now, and none of the DRs can figure out what it is. Brain aneurysm. Realizing that one day where your mother or father tells you when I'm gone. Aliens. Never finding the one. You go to sleep on the 31st of December 2020 and wake up the next day, but when you check your phone, it says January 1st, 2020. After the first couple of days, you realize it's just like Groundhog Day. What do you do with the information you have about 2020? This is the canonical explanation for the hoarders. Don't have sex with so and so because they have herpes. Sell all the stocks in February and buy Tesla calls in March. Start a Twitch YouTube channel that predicts 2020 accurately and have everyone think I'm Nostradamus. Big, cry, invest, reset, repeat. I would go to the doctor in early January to check on my kidneys. Maybe we could save them. I'm gonna be real sad because I just spent the year losing a ton of weight, and I don't want to start over. Get a haircut in February. I'd probably go to California and just tell a couple what gender their kid would be. I can't stop a pandemic, but I can halt a wildfire. Edit. Thank you everyone for the awards, much appreciated. Tell Nevada to start counting mail-in ballots before the election day. College students don't want to go to graduation ceremonies, but they go to please their relatives, while relatives don't want to go but go to support the students. We should all just be honest and skip that ceremony and go out for pizza. I put on my cap gown, took pictures in front of the hall with my friends and my family. When everyone else went in for the ceremony, my mom ran in and grabbed a program, and then my family I went and got ice cream. We have all the mementos from the day, but didn't have to sit through it. As a college professor, I love the graduation ceremonies. I invest a lot of time and effort into my students, so sending them off in style is a treat for me. Really, I want to go. I think I at least deserve it after all I've been through. Is it bad or stressful, though? The degree is for you, the ceremony is for your family. It gives attendees a sense of pride and accomplishment. I went to both of mine and was glad I did. There really is an energy that's palpable. My wife wanted to skip her final one, but I encouraged her to go. She was really glad she did. The ceremonies exist for a reason. Men who were single during their teenage years and March 4th, 2024. What is your story? Lack of time and motivation. Lack of social skills as a result. Lack of social skills had an effect. When I had time and motivation, those led to failure, which lead to lack of motivation on loop and repeat. He had a bit of success here and there, but it did not lead to a relationship. As someone who relied on Mountain Dew and video games for companionship during those years, my experience was a bit rough, to say the least. But now I'm in a loving relationship with my hand, and that's all that matters. Being my own worst enemy. Going to clubs and getting drunk and assuming I would hook up with someone. Spoiler, I did not. Despite the fact that I always wanted a girlfriend, every time a girl approached me, something deep down told me to say no, ignore it, and so I did. Fast forward to today, I just gave up since modern women just aren't what I'm looking for. Like the entire time. No dating. I was a severely anxious shut-in who barely left home through my whole youth. I don't feel like getting married yet, and I won't waste my time with someone just to have sex. Video games and fat. Moving between countries too much and bad timing. Older people of Reddit, what is something that is 100 pure bullshit? We care about your privacy. Promises an employer makes. Something you used to buy now being as a service. I buy a car with heated seats. You better know I want it to warm my ass on those cold. Bullshit. How everything seems to be heading towards, and as a service subscription model. Nobody is thinking about your embarrassing mistakes. Most everyone is thinking about themselves, so you should too. People think a lot less about us as we think they do. Health insurance and their endless shenanigans. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Nope. People who claim apps make life easier. Totals. I can't just go for a swim anymore. You have to book an appointment. I can't just take my rubbish to the dump anymore. I have to book an appointment. Tell them what I plan on throwing out, provided it and my car's details, etc. Life is so fucking tedious now and I hate it. Stuff. Be picky about what you bring into your life. Don't buy stuff. The trickle-down effect. The older I get, the more I realize I'm not 100 sure of a goddamn thing. How would you feel about a law that requires people over the age of 70 to pass a specialized driving test in order to continue driving? Here in Illinois, my grandpa had to do it every year after 75. That's a great idea. I'm going to call my 68-year-old congressman and ask him to support such. Most driving laws are passed by state legislators who usually do drive themselves. I'm all for retesting people, however. I'm not sure what you mean by specialized. The requirements for good driving don't change with age, so it should be the same test. Ideally, we'd all be retested every 10 years or so until we hit 60. Then we're retested every 5 years. However, older folks are a huge voting bloc and it's unlikely this would ever pass. I send patients for drivers' evaluations if their ability to navigate through my office is concerningly questionable. Unaware drivers are just as dangerous as impaired drivers. I'm an eye doc and I'd be all for it. You know how often I get berated or threatened by geriatrics when I strongly suggest that they quit driving because they no longer meet the legal requirements for driving. People should have to retake the driver's test every 10 years, if not 20. I've seen too many terrible drivers of all ages. In 20 years, bars and casinos will smell like cotton candy and strawberry instead of cigarettes. I wish it would hurry up. You still aren't allowed to vape inside bars or any other public indoor place in my state. Not in Australia, where vaping is banned now. Plot. They actually smelly like forts and bow. Oh, is that what Marcy Playground was talking about? No, they won't. Because you can't smoke inside them already. Are the strawberries and cotton candy in the room with us up? I bet they smell more like pot, at least the ones you will still be able to smoke in. Vaping is 100% illegal in my country. Cigs smell as bad as it is really masked bow, and I'd honestly rather deal with that at bars. Is this a shower thought from 2014? There is probably at least one white guy adopted and raised in China who speaks English with a Chinese accent, and strangers just assume he's a total asshole. Mom's hairdresser is a Chinese woman who grew up in India. She speaks English with an Indian accent. It must throw off a lot of people. I work in Japan and one of my clients is a half Japanese, half Swedish man who somehow got every single Swedish gene in the pool, looks hard white, and speaks English in a heavy Japanese accent. One of the biggest mindfucks I've experienced in my life. Is it possible to adopt a foreign person as your child in China? Not China. But when I lived in Japan, my dad was an avid fisherman and would charter trips out to sea for a day. One of the captains was a red-haired white guy who did speak a lick of English. He was adopted by an Okinawan family shortly after the Vietnam War. In what little he and I talked about, he always hated his hair. Red hair is special in Okinawa, and said he got teased a lot in school. The Pope slapped a woman on day 1 of 2020. World War E is trending on day 2. Global epidemic crisis. It just started in Wuhan, China. It might take some time, though. Take a seat. The Pope is slapping hoes. The US is blasting bros. Australia needs a hose. This really is the roaring March 4th, 2024 again, isn't it? Betty White sex scandal. Yellowstone fucking blows. World War IV is trending. In case someone missed the Pope slap like me, it's a slap on the hand. Malaysian Airlines lands in Beijing and no one on board realizes they lost almost 6 years. The dollar goes under. We now use Cheerios as currency. Australia burns. And then on day 4, my internet gets reconnected after 3 long weeks. Alien invasion in the morning, second coming of Jesus in the afternoon. You forgot the apocalypse in Australia. The moon will blow up suddenly and without warning. Iran bombs something. Cats and dogs living together. The day is almost over here in Asia. Worry not, it's all right till now. January 3. January 4 Prophet. The frogs will turn gay. Apparently the lemon is not naturally occurring, and is a hybrid developed by cross-breeding a bitter orange and a citron. Life never gave us lemons, we invented them all by ourselves. So what you're saying is that instead of life giving us lemons, we gave lemons life. If life gives you bitter orange and citron, make them have sex, and then drink the juices. Actually, all citrus comes from the mandarin orange, the pomelo and the citron. Everything else is a cross breed. My life is a lie. Since everyone reading this was born after that process occurred, life did give us lemons. We pretty much invented all produce. That's deep. The origin of the lemon is unknown, though lemons are thought to have first grown in Assam region in northeast India, northern Burma or China. A genomic study of the lemon indicated it was a hybrid between bitter orange, sour orange, and pause citron and francais. Life aha finds a way. Well, when life doesn't give you lemons, invent them so you can make lemonade. I think you meant to post this in our till. We also gave ourselves the gift of Liz Lemon. What is a citron? What does it taste like? Why don't they sell it at the grocery store?